You won't believe how close the 2026 GMC Hummer EV comes to replacing not just your weekend truck, but your everyday workhorse too. Welcome back to Legends Auto Future, where we break down the cars Americans actually care about. From first glance, the 2026 GMC Hummer EV isn't just another electric truck. It is a statement, an electric beast that challenges everything we thought a pickup had to be. If you live in the US, and you've ever wondered whether EVs can truly compete with hard-working traditional gas and diesel trucks, this video will give you the answers. And the surprises. Let's start with design and presence. The Hummer EV looks like a truck and acts like a truck, but it feels futuristic. Its massive wheels, flat hood, and upright stance scream capability. Yet it's built on Ultium's EV platform designed for strength and durability. Compare that to a traditional Ford F-150 or Chevy Silverado. Those trucks have muscle, sure, but the Hummer EV NSES stance suggests off-road confidence and towing readiness right from the showroom. The massive wheel arches and high ground clearance aren't just for show. They're engineered for rocky trails and deep mud, giving you real confidence if you love adventure or work in rough terrain. Now let's talk performance. This is where the Hummer EV turns heads. With up to 1,000 horsepower in the Edition 1 models and an estimated 0 to 60 time that can beat many V8 trucks, it's proof that EV torque isn't a gimmick. Electric motors deliver peak torque instantly, meaning when you hit the throttle, there's no lag, just raw forward motion. Traditional trucks still rely on revs and gears to build power. Sure, a diesel F-250 will pull heavy payloads all day long, but in everyday acceleration and responsiveness, the Hummer EV feels like a sports car in a truck S-body. Speaking of torque and towing, GMC claims the Hummer EV can tow up to 11,000 pounds and handle payloads over 1,300 pounds. That puts it right in the ballpark with the heavy-duty 3-4-ton trucks that many American buyers trust for trailers, campers, and boats. If you haul often, the fact that you can do it without a growling diesel engine in front of you and still not lose capacity is a major step forward. Let's move inside, because interior comfort and technology matter just as much as strength. The cab of the Hummer EV is roomy, modern, and packed with screens and driver assistance tech. You'll find features like a multi-view camera system, incredibly valuable when you're not risk backing a trailer, and giant touchscreen interfaces that rival Tesla's infotainment experience. Compare that to the traditional truck cabin. Yes, many mainstream pickups are comfortable, but few combine that feel with cutting-edge EV tech that's intuitive and visually striking. One of the biggest questions for US buyers is range and real-world usage. The Hummer EV with the largest battery pack targets over 300 miles of range. That S not just highway cruising, that S a full day, S worksite hopping, grocery runs, and even a weekend camping trip without constant charging. Contrast that with an F-150 Lightning, which also targets similar range numbers, and suddenly you see the EV truck market maturing fast. For Americans who drive long distances between jobs or travel for recreation, hitting 300+ miles reliably is a game changer. But let's be honest, the real rubber meets the road test is ownership appeal. Traditional trucks have decades of reputation for reliability, aftermarket parts, and easy repairs. The Hummer EV enters that world with a learning curve. Parts and service networks for EVs are growing, but it's not yet as widespread as legacy gas truck support. However, what the Hummer brings to the table is lower day-to-day maintenance. No oil changes, no spark plugs, no belts, and that means fewer routine expenses over years of ownership. In some regions of the US, electricity costs are significantly lower than diesel or gasoline, giving EV owners a real cost of ownership advantage. Here's where it gets interesting. If you're someone who needs a work truck every single day, hauling equipment, driving long distances, or owning high mileage routes, the question becomes whether charging infrastructure can keep up. Yes, the Hummer EV supports fast charging and can add significant miles in short sessions, but if you're out in rural America, or construction zones with spotty charging access, traditional trucks with quick fill-ups still have the edge. That said, with more fast chargers being installed across highways and job sites in the US, The gap is closing faster than most people expected. Let's break down value for money next. The Hummer EV isn't cheap. Pricing starts premium, reflecting its tech and capability. Compare that to a base Silverado or Ram 1500, which can be much more affordable up front. But value isn't an FEXT just price tag. It is what you get for what you pay. With standard all-wheel drive, cutting-edge suspension, camera systems, and massive torque, you're paying for features that used to be optional or aftermarket upgrades in traditional trucks. For buyers who prioritize tech, performance, and future-proofing, that can justify the cost. Another huge part of the American truck conversation is resale value. EVs are still new territory here. Some buyers worry that electric trucks will depreciate faster, simply because the technology evolves quickly. Traditional trucks have held strong resale values thanks to steady demand and familiarity. But early electric pickups, including the Hummer EV, could become highly desirable used vehicles once they're proven reliable. If that happens, resale values might surprise skeptics. Now, if you're thinking, okay, but what about real comparison metrics? Let's do some head-to-head. The 2026 Hummer EV versus the 2026 Ford F-150 Lightning. Both are capable electric trucks, but the Hummer positions itself more as a performance adventure truck with off-road hardware that the standard Lightning doesn't match out of the box. Against a gas Silverado 1500, the Hummer's instant torque and advanced suspension give it edge in acceleration and rough terrain comfort. Against heavy-duty gas and diesel 250s, the Hummer holds its own for towing and payload, but infrastructure and range still give the diesel trucks confidence for remote work. So, can the 2026 GMC Hummer EV replace traditional trucks? The answer isn't a simple yes or no. If your priority is cutting-edge performance, advanced tech, lower daily costs, and you in areas with good charging access, the Hummer EV can replace your daily driver and workhorse. If you work in remote regions with limited charging, regularly tow ultra-heavy loads beyond 11,000 pounds, or need the tightest service network possible, traditional gas and diesel trucks still have advantages today. But one thing is clear. The 2026 Hummer EV is not just an electric novelty. It's a capable, confident contender that forces every truck buyer in America to rethink what a truck can be. Before we wrap up, ask yourself this. Would you trade the roar of an engine for the instant punch of electric torque if it meant better daily performance and lower long-term costs? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe for more future cars and auto content on Legends Auto Future.